Today's lesson is Unit 1, Lesson 2. We're talking about subtracting integers on the number line and by using rules. The homework that goes with it is listed here. That's in the homework packet. And if you're watching this, the quiz is tomorrow on computation. Now, one of the topics that we're going to review today is fractions. And when you reduce fractions, you need to make sure there are no common factors. Hold on a second. Are no common factors other than 1 in the numerator and denominator. So this is a complete review. For example, the first one, 18/24. Common factor of 18 and 24 is 6. So you can do this mentally. I'm going to write it right now so you can see it. To reduce or simplify this fraction, 18 divided by 6 is 3. 24 divided by 6 is 4. So 3/4 is reduced or simplified. Now, let's look at the same problem, and let's say you said, oh, well, I know that 2 divides into 18 and 24. So if you divided them both by 2, you would get 9/12. 9/12 is not completely simplified because 9 and 12 both have a common factor of 3. So you would have to simplify again by dividing by 3, and you end up with 3/4. So if you find the greatest common factor, you only need to do it once. If you find a factor and it has more than 1, you need to continue to simplify until the only factor that 3 and 4 share is 1. That's reducing a fraction. The second thing that we want to review today is going from a mixed number to an improper fraction. So 4 and 1/3. To do this, you've got 4 whole numbers, and this is in terms of thirds. So 4 times 3 is 12, plus the 1/3 that you have is 13 thirds. Let's take a look at this one. 2 times 5 is 10, plus 2 is 12 fifths. You should already know how to do this, but it is good to review. Last thing we're going to review today is going from an improper fraction to a mixed number. Now, you can do this mentally, or you can do it by setting up a division problem. This is 17 fifths. 17 fifths, which is the same as 17 divided by 5. So, if you can do it mentally, all you say is, how many times does 5 go into 17? It goes in 3 times. That's 15, so the remainder is 2 fifths. But if you cannot do it mentally, what you do, the number in the numerator always goes in the box. This is 17 divided by 5. 17 divided by 5. How many times does 5 go into 17? 3 complete times. 3 times 5 is 15. Subtract, you get 2. So this is 3, and the remainder 2 fifths. Let's take a look at this one. 3 goes into 14. 4 times, that's 12, so our remainder is 2 thirds, and the denominator stays the same. Last but not least, how many times does 9 go into 30? Let's do this the long way. 9 goes into 30 3 times. That's 27, subtract, and I get 3. So I've got 3, this 3 here is the whole number, and the remainder is 3 ninths. Now, this needs to be reduced. So I divide these both by 3, and I get 3 and 1/3. All right, that's enough of a review for today. All right, subtracting integers on the number line. When you are doing subtraction, whether you are using the rule or the number line, you always need to change it to an addition problem. We say add the opposite. I like to say make 2 marks. So this is a subtraction problem. I start just like I'm going to change it to an addition problem first. So change this to add. What's the opposite of positive 3? Negative 3. So it is now 2 plus negative 3. 2 minus 3 and 2 plus negative 3 are exactly the same thing. But you need to rewrite it as an addition problem before you try to do it on the number line. Now, this is exactly like what we did yesterday, adding integers on the number line. So I start at 0, 2, I move to the right, plus negative 3. So I stay at 2, and I go left 3. It ends up being negative 1. Let's take a look at this one. Now, 4 minus 3. We all know 4 minus 3 is 1. We're going to start thinking of this as an addition problem. Change it to add. What's the opposite of positive 3? It's negative 3. So 4 plus negative 3 is exactly the same as 4 minus 3. So let's do this on the number line. 4. So I go to the right, 4, plus negative 3. So I'm at 4, and I go left 3 for negative 3, and I end up at 1. Okay? So the key here, change it to add the opposite. Let's take a look at this one. Negative 5 minus negative 6. It's a subtraction problem. You change it to add. What's the opposite of negative 6? It's positive 6. There's my 2 marks. So negative 5 plus 6 is the same as the original problem, negative 5 minus negative 6. These are the same. It is easier to deal with an addition problem, which is why we do that. So negative 5, so I start at 0, go left to negative 5, plus 6. So I go to the right 6 spots, and I end up at 1. All right, let's take a look at doing this with rules. It is the same exact thing. Add the opposite. Add the opposite. Make 2 marks. Now, one key thing here, you never touch the first number. So let's look at this. 8 minus 13. I don't touch 8. It's subtraction, so I change it to add. What's the opposite of positive 13? Negative 13. There's my 2 marks. Make 2 marks. So, once you do this, we are right where we were yesterday. Adding. When the signs are the same, you add and keep the sign. When they are different, you subtract and take the sign larger. So, I'm looking at this now as an addition problem, and the signs are different. So I subtract. 13 minus 8 is 5. And which one of these is a bigger number? The negative. So negative 5. All right. Negative 10 minus 7. Never touch the first number. Change it to add. What's the opposite of positive 7? Negative 7. There's my 2 marks. Add the opposite. So negative 10 plus negative 7 is, they are the same. So you add and keep the sign. Negative 17. All right, let's look at this one. 1 minus negative 2. Don't touch the first number. Change it to add. What's the opposite of negative 2? Positive 2. There's my 2 marks. Add the opposite, make 2 marks. Now, look at this problem. 1 plus 2 is 3. Once you change it to addition problem, you use the rules of adding. All right, here we go. Negative 10 minus negative 7. Change it to add. What's the opposite of negative 7? Positive 7. There's my 2 marks. Never make more than 2 marks. Exactly 2 marks. Negative 10 plus positive 7. They are different. So I subtract and I get 3. Which one is bigger? 10. So I take negative 3.